Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, yesterday, dropped the trailer for Robert Eggars' new adaptation of Nosferatu. Yes, the Max Schreck 1922 F.W. Murnau unauthorized Dracula classic tale. I've covered it oodles of times on the channel, oodles, and I've been long awaiting this new version now, which is not Bram Stoker's Dracula, it is Nosferatu. It is the readaptation, an expansion, elongated, enlarged, and more gothicized than the originals. Murnau's version, 1922, in the 70s, with Klaus Kinski, Werner Herzog did his version, and that's outstanding as well. He did a sequel to it, Vampire in Venice. That wasn't so good and forgettable. We don't talk about that one. But now, from Robert Eggars, we get this new version. The trailer dropped, as I say, yesterday, but it didn't drop everywhere. Oh, no. Focus Features, A24 and all that bunch of people, the distributors, they've gone like, no, we're going to put the trailer on before the bike riders. Yes, the bike riders. Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, and that Scouse girl, whose name I've forgotten. But they put it before that, in America only. The bike riders dropped in the UK this week, but it's not playing before that in the UK, only in America. However, the Nosferatu trailer is playing before the Viggo Mortensen western, The Dead Don't Hurt. I know that for a fact. It's in Denmark. People have told me it's in Denmark. So they've seen the trailer. But the trailer, although you guys can't see it, it's not on YouTube as yet. It's not anywhere as yet. But it was, because some enterprising young individual, some renegade, some rogue, filmed it before a bike rider's showing, and he put it onto social media, and it got took down very, very quickly. Folks, it's a trailer. Why is everybody up in arms about this? It's a fucking trailer. That's all it is. You're meant to be advertising a film. Don't you want people to see the trailer so that you can go and see the film? Yeah, to get bums on seats, generate interest. That's what a trailer's for. But no, Focus Features, bike riders, they've bolted it onto that so people go and see the bike riders and then get the trailer as well. And I know there's people on forums who be going like, well, I'm going to buy a ticket for the bike riders just to watch the trailer for Nosferatu, but I'm not going to watch the film, The Bike Riders. Is that really what they had intended? That sounds stupid to me. I don't want to see the bike riders. I have no interest in it whatsoever. So, luckily for me, as I say, my enterprising son, who's a massive fan of Robert Eggars, he managed to catch that renegade, rogue, leaked trailer. And he downloaded it and he saved it. And he passed it on to me. Now, for obvious reasons, I am not going to show that trailer. And nor can I sit here and play it with the sound up, because that will still land me in a world of shite with YouTube and the copyright gods. So I ain't doing it. But I've seen it a few times and I will describe it to you. And by the way, right from the word go, it's awesome. It is. It's grandiose. It's dark, brooding, sinister, and gothic. That's what you want it to be. Gothic. It's dark. There's castles. There's all sorts of rats and pestilence. There's... What is the most famous thing about Max Schreck's interpretation of Count Graf Orlok? It is that hand with the big claws, the silhouetted shadowy hand clutching the woman he wants, her heart in shadow, and his shadow creeping up the staircase, but again, that spidery hand in shadow and silhouette. And you get that in this, but you get it writ large. It's a huge cloud-like, think Nope, a huge cloud hand going over the town, the city of Visberg. Because Visberg is where our Nosferatu will end up. It's the same story as Dracula, it's just that it hasn't got England anymore. It hasn't got Carfax Abbey. It hasn't got London. It hasn't got any of that sort of stuff. The cast is still pretty much the same, but and the plot's still the same. But anyway, what you see, well, what you hear first of all is, "He is coming," and you hear that phrase a lot. But at the end of the 90-second trailer, you think, has he arrived yet? Because everyone's going, "He is coming, he is coming, he's coming, he is coming, he is coming." Everyone knows he's coming, but does he ever get there? Well, yes, he does. And you've got some great sweeping shots of arriving at Castle Dracula, Castle Orlok in Transylvania. The story's the same. It's not Jonathan Harker, it's Hutter. Hutter goes out there to sell real estate to Orlok. And there is a shot of a huge, great big stone bridge and a thundering carriage going along that. And you're looking down upon it. And if that's big and grandiose, as the camera sweeps up, you see a huge rock cliff face edifice with a mountaintop castle, Orlok's castle, atop that. Now, I'll be honest, I thought, the very first thing I thought was like, oh, that looks like Van Helsing, the Stephen Sommers Van Helsing, yeah, with Hugh Jackman, yeah. Loads of great fun elements, but not a good movie, let's be honest, and way too much CGI. Now, we know that Robert Eggars will incorporate CG and visual tricks aplenty, but he will not overplay it at all. He will not really rely upon it. But for a big sweeping grand shot like that, it works. And I liked it, even though I thought that's Van Helsing that, but it's better than that. We have some landscape shots which reminded me more of the Werner Herzog version, with long flat landscapes, canals, and just, you know, irrigation and low-lying fields. And I'm presuming Hutter riding back to his missus, played by Lily Rose Depp, and he's riding back. But it conjured up images of the Werner Herzog version, which is no bad thing, no bad thing. I will say now that people who've seen the trailer properly, not the leaked version that I saw, which was nice and clear, slightly askew, but still nice and clear. But what it didn't bestow was what everyone else has been remarking upon, was the remarkable colours in it. It's very vivid. It's like a Renaissance painting. That's how his production design and his artistic design has integrated into this movie. It's very beautiful, very vivid, very strong, very bold. That didn't come across on the version I saw, I'll be perfectly honest, but hey, it is what it is. And of course, the original Nosferatu was black and white, but it was tinted. Various scenes, green, orange, yellow, pinkish hue. You had these different colour tints. The movie wasn't monochromatic. It wasn't purely black and white. It was tinted. Now, obviously, the Werner Herzog version is full colour, but it still is stripped down. It is very starkly contrasted and very gothic looking, which is great. This, by all accounts, is not like that. It's vivid and colourful. So, what else do we get? I've made a lot of notes. He is coming. The hand shadow, which goes across the city of Visberg, like this cloud, and it's brilliant. It just comes up like that. Well, you're looking down, so it's like that. Black shadow across the town. Tons of coffins, tons of rats. Orlok is pestilence. He's a rodent. He brings the Black Plague with him. He brings bubonic plague. So a lot of population get wasted because of that. And I've always thought that Nosferatu it lacks killings. It lacks him doing something. Obviously, you've got his voyage to, obviously in Bram Stoker's Dracula, his voyage to Whitby and then Carfax Abbey, and he kills the crew of the Demeter. Well, you have a very similar sequence in all Nosferatu interpretations, and you're going to get it in this as well. The trailer shows nothing of that. Nothing. You don't see the ship, the Demeter, or the name that they originally gave it in the original Nosferatu, which is a different name. But you don't see that at all. But you do get the impression that more killings have took place. Rats, as I say, pestilence, coffins being carried. You have a torch-wielding, well, I wouldn't say a mob, but there's certainly a bunch of hunters who have got torches, and they're in a mist-laden cemetery, and they're going from tomb to tomb. You've got that. Looks great. The evocation of 19th century Visberg is brilliant. Big city streets, lots of top hats, frock coats, and just bustling people, wagons and carriages, and it looks amazing. It looks very immersive. Loved all that. What else did we get? The torchlit hunt through misty grave. Oh yeah, I said that, didn't I? The carriage over the bridge to a castle Orlok. Right. There is a strange shot which is very reminiscent of The Shining. You have two girls, young girls with pigtails, right in your face. They're there, the two of them. One's big, fat, frumpy thing, and the other one's a little bit smaller, with pigtails, and they're going, ah! They're screaming. It reminded me of the two girls, of course, in The Shining. I'm not sure how they figure in it quite exactly, but it was an elaborate and evocative, frightening image. You do have, Hutter's missus, who Orlok puts his fixation upon, whilst claiming other lives. You have a shot of her belching blood. Blood comes out, and there's blood streaming down her face as well from her eyes, and that's quite alarming. The only gory shot in it, to be honest, but that is a gory shot, certainly. What else do we have? Oh, there's plenty of Willem Dafoe. Now, Willem Dafoe plays, let's get this right now, he plays Professor Albin Eberhard von Franz. Now, that name's different. In the previous versions, he's had a different name. He's Van Helsing. Now, in the original Murnau Nosferatu, he has a different name again. But in the Werner Herzog version from the 70s with Klaus Kinski, he is Professor Van Helsing. And in this, well, he's got this other name, but he is the vampire hunter. And you've got a couple of shots of him, mustachioed, and his hair looks looking great. And it's Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe he played Nosferatu, he played Max Schreck in the great Shadow of the Vampire with John Malkovich, which I have reviewed. And the idea behind that was that they were making Nosferatu 1922 style, but they recruited a real life vampire to play their vampire for Nosferatu, and he's putting a bite on all the cast and crew, and it's brilliant. And Willem Dafoe is outstanding as Nosferatu in that, and he's in this, and you kind of thought, oh come on, you bringing him back, you've got to have him playing Nosferatu. Of course, he isn't. It's Bill Skarsgård playing him. But you get a fair bit of Willem Dafoe in this. There's a bit towards the end where it's like, it must be like a crypt, and he's rubbing away at the crypt, and all like, we have encountered vampire, and then it ends with on his face, Nosferatu, the undead. And of course, you're wondering about Bill Skarsgård. Do we see him? Well, yes, you do. In a distance, only towards the end of the trailer. He's in the deep, darkest recesses. There's many famous shots of Max Schreck and Klaus Kinski, of course, just appearing in almost coffin-shaped doorways, just like, again, starkly contrasted, just standing there, his spidery, weird, elongated shape with his pointy ears and baldy pate, very sinister. Well, you've got that in the end of this trailer, and it is Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu, as Graf Orlok, but it's in the background, and they don't go expecting when this drops and goes online probably, which could be any day soon, who knows. Don't go expecting like, oh, there's going to be a big shock moment at the end. It's going to say, because obviously these things go like succumb. This one says succumb to darkness, Christmas 2024, and you think after that you're going to have and like big fangs. No, you don't get that at all. You just get him in a distant shot. There is a strange shot in there which I do not know what the hell it's supposed to be. It's the back of someone who's nudie, and they're writhing with what could be someone else who's nudie. And I think there's flames and candles lit around. I don't know if it's a sex scene. I don't know if it's someone chowing down on someone. I don't know. But the back, the body is not, it certainly isn't Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu. Unless he really does become, muscle bound and ripped. Because you've got Aaron Taylor-Joy. Is it Aaron Taylor-Joy? I've got her name wrong again. I always get Aaron Taylor-Johnson. I always get him and Anya Taylor-Joy confused. I know, they look nothing alike. It's just a stupid, bloody triple names, which I can't stand. And but Aaron Taylor-Johnson is in this, and it may well be him looking a little bit buffed up and like, hey, and from behind there's a rippling shoulders, and there's something heaving and grinding taking place. But again, I don't know. If Eggars is bringing actual vampiric sex into the mix, then that's a new thing, because they don't tend to do that. Oh, your Twilight and your True Blood and all that. Oh yeah, nookie, fangy, sucky. Happened a lot. But it's not in your conventional vampire movie or vampire literature. It doesn't happen. They put the bite on and that's it. Then that's the orgasmic thing. The female victim writhes with joy. There's that bloody name, Joy again. And that's their orgasmic explosion. But the vampire is like, I've got the blood, I'm off. Off they go before daylight. In this, who knows, maybe he has brought a sexual angle. Max Schreck was repellent, he was pestilence, there was nothing sexual about him at all. Bill Skarsgård has said, I want to make you attracted to this guy. No matter how repellent he is physically, I want you to be drawn to him. And I like that, because that's what a vampire is supposed to do. It's hypnotic, whether it looks like a friggin' skeletal, cadaverous monster, a rat on two legs. It doesn't really matter. It's got its mesmerizing power to make its victim succumb. And I hope they're going to do that. I don't mind them bringing in a sexual angle, if indeed they are. I can't testify to that. It's just nudes. So I don't know if that's actually an act or it is someone, I've now become a vampire and I'm feasting on this. Just shot from behind. I don't know. So it's a tantalising trailer. As I say, about 90 seconds long, and it shows a lot and yet shows nothing, because you don't really get the genuine gist of where you're going with it. If you know the story of Nosferatu, which I'm sure we all do, and the way it goes, well, no big surprises, but there are shots here which like that bit, like, where's that from? I'm going to say right here and now that there's going to be more killings in this, I think, and certainly more people may well become vampire. I think so. This guy, Robert Eggars, is a phenomenal filmmaker. Yeah, it's off kilter. It's a little bit askew from the mainstream, but that's what makes him unique and individual and great. The Witch is great, or the Witch, however you want to pronounce it. It's The Witch. What else? The Lighthouse is outstanding. Willem Dafoe again. My God. But I know a lot of people don't like that movie. he shot it in such a bizarre way, black and white and squashed in, the complete opposite of cinematic. It was in a box and he thrust you inside that box, and yet it's on this bleak island with a lighthouse and a mermaid and all the fucking things and lobsters. But did you like my lobster? Oh god, it's a bizarre movie. But I loved it. Then The Northman, of course, with another Skarsgård. Is it Alexander Skarsgård? Which at first I was not that blown away by it. I thought it was protracted and laborious. All the action that was shown in the trailers, well, that was all the action in the movie. That was it. And it was a Conan retelling. Of course, it's not a Conan retelling, because Conan is a telling of Hamlet, which is Hamlet, but it's an old Norse tale. A child loses his parents, fights for revenge, becomes a warrior, fights for revenge. It's an age-old tale, but it was a Norse tale first. And what Eggars did was a phenomenally atmospheric, again, dark, brooding, hugely atmospheric, very, very evocative. A bit of mysticism thrown in there as well, and a fabulous conclusion, but a lot of intrigue. But the intrigue and the skullduggery was from Hamlet, the original saga, and Hamlet via Shakespeare. So it works, and it's kind of grown on me a lot more, and now I enjoy that movie a hell of a lot more. With this, I expect he's upped his game. It's going to be very, very ghoulish, dark, sinister, but with a seductive quality, which is affirmed by Bill Skarsgård himself, who said, I wanted to make him, attractive, but he's repugnant and sinister, but you're drawn to him, which is the vampire itself, or vampire, as they say, if they're going to use the proper dialects and all that. But yeah, I think it looks great. You've got Knock. Now, Knock is Renfield, and he's played by Simon McBurney. Quite a few of the cast have been in Robert Eggars' previous movies, like The Witch. Ralph Ineson's in there. Ralph Ineson plays the Doctor. Let's have a look. Dr. Wilhelm Sievers, and I think he'll have quite a prevalent role. I don't recall seeing him in the trailer. Now I come to think of it, I don't recall it at all. And I've seen it about 10 times as well. I don't remember it. Someone's going to go, well, actually, he's there, front and centre, but I've forgotten. But McBurney plays Knock. Knock's the Renfield one. Knock's been out there before and met Orlok, or Dracula, and he's gone mad, and he's become a minion of Dracula, Orlok. Come back to England, Germany. See, the whole thing is relocated. It's not Dracula, it's the pseudo Dracula, but it's got a life of its own, and he's in a mental institute, and of course he's eating spiders and insects and then rats, and but he knows the master is coming. Everyone knows he is coming. You're going to hear that a hell of a lot. He is coming. Everyone says it. Everyone at some point says he is coming. But it's hugely exciting, grand, big. It looks big as well. I know, like I said before about the CG on the carriage going across the bridge to this huge cliff top castle. But it looks great though. Very, very sinister. It's what you want from Dracula. You want Dracula to have this huge edifice on a mountaintop. It's all well and good having your Christopher Lee and the Hammer movies and Bray Studios reworking Studio One again and again and again and again for all the different Dracula movies and Frankenstein movies. And I love, you guys know how much I love all of those. But Bram Stoker's Dracula from Francis Ford Coppola really brought, this is going to be a towering, fearful, absolutely awe-inspiring but ancient edifice on a mountaintop in the middle of a blighted Transylvania. Well, you've got it here. Certainly from the brief shots you see of it, you've got it there. There is a lot of, there's a bit towards the end with people have got cows on and torches, but whether they're Orlocks, acolytes, I don't know, or whether they're from Christendom and Catholicism and they're trying to hunt the vampires out. I don't know, but it's bigger. It's definitely the biggest version. Just even the street scenes convey that, and you do see coffins being carried. They're not at a high speed like in the original Nosferatu, which is the one thing I don't like about Murnau's film. He tried to portray that when Nosferatu, when Orlok is there, time is that he moves in a different sort of time zone than the rest of us do. So he's carrying his coffins from the ship, and all the coffins full of his own air, and he's like, it's hurrying at fast motion through the streets, the coffin over his shoulder, and it's ridiculous. I'll be honest. But at the time when first audience must have seen that, they must have been like, wow, God, look, the speed is moving. They would not have seen the comical aspect of it. Whereas now you look back, you go, oh dear, I wouldn't have depicted it that way. But then again, that's with hindsight. But in this, I want to see how if Robert Eggars does actually interpret that Nosferatu can move beyond our time, he moves beyond our speed. It's like a fly, you can't swat a fly because it sees you coming half an hour before you've even thought about doing it. So he might reflect that. I don't know. I'm hoping so. I'd love to see a new depiction of that time dislocation sort of thing. So yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. I would love to show it to you. Obviously, that would not be a wise move on my part. It is not playing in the UK as yet. It's going to drop. It's going to drop at some point. As I said before, I find this a bit of a bizarre marketing measure. I don't understand it. Yeah, you plug in the film The Bike Riders, but you got Tom Hardy and you got Austin Butler in there. Jodie Comer, that's the girl I couldn't think of. Jodie Comer. And that's probably going to do reasonably well in an era when movies at the cinema, big blockbusters, are not busting blocks at all. They're dying on their knees, and they're getting blamed for the demise of cinema, of course. Furiosa being sadly the lead suspect, which, having seen it 5 times now, and my son's seen it more than that, all cinematically, we're doing our bit to keep the cinema alive, but apparently we're the only ones who aren't doing that. Now this film, Nosferatu, comes out, it says Christmas 2024. It comes out, I've forgotten the dates now. Initially in the UK, it was January the 1st, 2025. I don't know if this has all been chopped and changed. It's saying Christmas time, 2024. So I presume America is going to get it before we in the UK do. I'm hoping it's still this year for all of us, really. But who knows? It's the end of the year, put it that way. Got another 6 months or so to wait. And you'll get more trailers. As I say, you didn't get a lot of Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu in this, although there's plentiful imagery of him as Orlok. And it's worth noting as well that there are at least 28 special effects makeup technicians on this who are listed as like creature effects, molds, and other effects. I'm not talking visual effects here. These are makeup people, special effects makeup people. So that's prosthetics and transformations, and creature effects are mentioned. So you will get more than just Orlok with his big long nails. And we've all seen imagery of Bill Skarsgård in the makeup, and looks totally impressive. Looks brilliant. It's pure Max Schreck. It's pure this. Rodent teeth, big long fingernails, pointy long fingers and talons, and big baldy head, and a big gaunt appearance, and the frock coat on. It's got all that, and big shadow play and all this kind of stuff. Got all that off to a T. Well, that's him in makeup. That's how he's going to be. Is he going to transform throughout the movie? Become younger like the Dracula did? It's not what Nosferatu did, but you never know. They might incorporate that a little bit. And I don't want to be putting ideas here which are not going to be in the movie. Just looking at the makeup effects and the different creature departments, there's definitely going to be something else in it. Is it going to be bats? Is he going to turn into a wolf at some point? Oh, hey, I'd love that. I'd love that. But who knows? And I have like a were-rat here mask. Are we going to get like big ferocious rats as well? Who knows? I think there'll be a hell of a lot more in this movie than this trailer lets on and what we know so far. I think looking at that, there's also a lot of stunt people involved as well, which again is very interesting. Look, I mean, let's be honest. In a kitchen sink drama, someone might get knocked against a high standing refrigerator, and well, I'm not going to do that. I might knock my elbow, but we'll bring a stunt person in. So even the most stupid, banal, mundane of kitchen sink dramas might have a couple of stunt people involved in it as well. But a big film will have many more stunt people. But I've got a feeling there is action in this. I think there's more bloodletting, there's more kills, there's just more action, just more stuff is going to take place. It's going to be a bigger movie, and yet still keep itself within the parameters of what Nosferatu is. Robert Eggars is not going to overblow this to the point where, like, oh God, they've jumped the shark there and all that. He's not going to do that. He'll remain as perfectly true to the original as he possibly can be. But don't just redo that. Bring in more elements, because it is a take on Dracula. And when it's Nosferatu ditched certain elements and other people becoming vampirized, he could bring those in. And you have got, there's quite a large cast in it. So, yeah. He's coming. And everyone says it in a different way. He's coming. He's coming. He is coming. I want somebody to go like, by the way, tap on the shoulder. He's here. He's right there. He's right there behind you. Folks, it looks great. It looks great. It will drop online at some point. You could probably still find this leaked version somewhere. But, don't go hunting it out. Although I know you're going to. Of course you are. I can't show it. I wish I could and go through it. The imagery looks great. The cinematography looks fantastic. The music, I don't know so much about the music, whether the music was just for the trailer, but the score is done by, I forgot his name again, I always get his name wrong, Robin Carolan. Now, Robin Carolan did The Witch and he did The Northman for Robert Eggars, but he had other people working with him. It wasn't just him, it was a collaboration. His is the only name appearing with doing the score for Nosferatu, so I don't know. But I like what he's done so far. Excuse me. And the gothic font of the title was Nosferatu, Robert Eggars' Nosferatu. It's beautifully eloquent and all twisty turny and snakely and serpentine. And I love it. So folks, if you're massively into Nosferatu, looking forward to this trailer is going to fire you up without a doubt. You'll be anxious to see this film, as I am. It's going to be great. So, folks, I think I've said everything. I'm sure there's probably a bit I've missed out there, but big hand. I love that, because the hand shadow is a huge... It's an iconic element of Nosferatu. It's the hand. The silhouette, the shadow of him creeping up the stairs. And Robert Eggars has done it almost like, it's probably like a dream sort of thing, like in Bram Stoker's Dracula, they have visions of like the clouds become the eye of Gary Oldman's Dracula, and you get these storm clouds and things and the Demeter crashing through and all this. So I think what he's done with this, it's just, hopefully it's not just for the trailer, it will be in the film. It'll be a fever dream of this hand creeping over the town, bringing with it the plague, because he doesn't come just on his own, he brings bubonic plague with him, and which is a huge metaphor for, well, just vampirism and a town being decimated. Pestilence comes in and everyone gets wasted. But those who are infected, is this film going to be a metaphor for you're infected by vampirism, but are you really a plague carrier? Because if you're a vampire, you can put a bite on someone else and you can spread that plague. It's all very interesting. And there's a lot more that can be explored, but I hope he doesn't go way too far. And I don't think he will. I think he'll try to keep it as tight and as bleakly claustrophobic as possible. Of course, I'm playing Christopher Young's new score for Nosferatu, the original. Regular viewers know I was part of the Kickstarter campaign for getting this released on CD. And, well, it's going to happen. So it was a big success. Brilliant. So I've been playing his interpretation of the original Nosferatu. So it'd be interesting to see how Robert Callahan, is it? Robert? I keep forgetting his name. Robin Callahan interprets it. And what he does with it. Dark, exciting, thrilling, nasty. I can't wait, folks. I can't wait. It's fucking great. I wish you could see the trailer. Those really sharp, sleuthed, CBBS then for some reason. Tech detectives out there. You could go and find this. You'll find it, no problem, I'm sure. Even though it's been deleted everywhere and taken off, someone will pop it up again. Like Bat the Rat. Rats again. It'll come up and you can catch it. Like my son caught it yesterday. So folks, Nosferatu is looking amazing. There have been always shall be Kilt-Man. So please, in the meantime, in this ever, watch out for people with strange rodenty teeth and big pointy ears in between time. Please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And I'm going to see you all later. Big castles, coffins, rats, bats, big hands, a torchlit hunt through a crypt in a cemetery, people spitting blood, sinister girls with pigtails, shrieking, people eating rats, and like, He's coming!